Hey guys, so today we'll be looking at the Gambit Springs trap. This trap is played by black against white's Queen's Gambit opening and is used to capture a piece. So let's move ahead with the trap. White begins with d4, black replies with pawn to d5. White moves with pawn to c4, black replies with pawn to e6, declining the gambit. Next, white moves his knight to c3, attacking our d5 pawn. We develop our knight to f6 in order to support our d5 pawn. Next, white moves his bishop to g5, pitting our knight and also weakening our center. In order to support our knight, we move our knight to square d7. Now, our center pawn is supported by just one pawn, whereas it is being attacked by white's pawn and knight. So, white will simply capture a pawn with his pawn. We'll capture this pawn back with our pawn. Now, white will capture our pawn with his knight and we won't be able to do anything because our knight is pinned. Or this is what the white thinks. And now the white is trapped. We play a brilliant move. We'll capture white's knight with our knight. Now white will be shocked to see that we have left the way open to our queen. White will simply capture our queen with his bishop. Next, we move our bishop to b4 and give check, and white has only one move. It can only block this check with his queen. And now we'll simply capture white's queen with our bishop and check. And as soon as white captures our bishop with his king, we'll capture white's bishop with our king. Now we are already a piece up ahead of white and will be easily able to win this game. Now let us consider the case that white is smart enough and does not capture a pawn on d5, but instead moves his pawn to e3. Now white's king has an escape square on e2, so we'll support our pawn with c6 pawn. Next, white will develop his knight to f3. Now we'll play a smart move. We'll take our queen to a5 square. This way we'll break our pin on our knight on f6 and also pin white's knight on c3. Now white will bring his queen to c2 in order to support his knight. Now we'll play another great move. We'll bring our knight to e4, attacking white's knight and white's bishop at the same time. Now white will bring his bishop to d3 in order to attack a knight. Now the white is trapped. We'll simply capture white's bishop with our knight. And when white's knight captures our knight back, we'll simply capture white's c pawn with our d pawn. And now we have a double attack on white. White's bishop is being attacked by our pawn and white's knight is being attacked by our queen. And if he tries to play anything smart, like capturing our f7 pawn with our knight, with his knight, and attacking our rook, in that case we'll simply capture white's bishop with our pawn and attack white's queen. And when he saves his queen, we'll capture the knight as well, and we'll be 2 pieces up ahead of white. So if you liked the video, please hit the like button, and for more such videos, please subscribe to Chess Vita.